podcast. Welcome back to the final episode of Season 2 with the incredible Liam McCroary. Finally a name I can pronounce. Liam, we start every podcast with a very, very same question. And it's a very simple question, but I think it's hard for a lot of people to answer. If I was to remove the athlete from Liam McCroary, what would be the shortest description that you would give of yourself?
So I would probably say if I took away the athlete from myself, I would be people would describe me, I think anyway, as modest, quiet, reserved, and to be honest, just someone that is just like just a normal guy that loves sport. I think, the athlete tagging me has always been something that I've always had, whether that's been through my background in football, school, running. So it's always something that I've, lived and breathed for my whole life. But if you take away that side of me, I love other things as well. I love like cooking, coffee. I'll spend time with my family, my friends, my fiance. I would just describe myself as just a normal guy that's at this moment in time just living the dream.
How would your mum describe you?
She would describe me as ravenous, somebody that just eats. It's a good question, actually. I need to ask her that. That's the next time I see her, I'll need to ask her. I think she would probably describe me as probably the same. I just try and be the best son I can be. So I always, I don't think I've disappointed them too much times, but yeah.
That's awesome, man. Okay, cool. So, let's just try and take things back so as we can get a bit of a fundamental understanding of who you are. So, were you born in Falkirk? Were you?
Yeah,
Is that your hometown?
Falkirk. Grangemouth is originally my hometown, but it's within Falkirk. My friends will kill me for saying Falkirk as opposed to Grangemouth. So
I did the same. I did exactly the same thing. I always say I'm from Belfast. I'm actually from Lisburn, which is 5 miles down the road.
Yeah.
And if you say you're from Belfast, you're being fancy.
Yeah.
There's not one thing fancy about me, I'll tell you that. Okay, cool. So grew up in Grangemouth. Within Falkirk. How was childhood growing up? How was mum and dad? Any brothers and sisters? What was the general energy like?
Life was good. Like nothing over the top. Literally just grew up in an ex-council scheme. Went to public school. Went to a high school that was in Falkirk. It was pretty normal. Like didn't ever. I just went out. I can always remember my childhood being out on my bike, playing football, being with my friends, very active. I've always been active. But I never had any sort of issues at school or anything like that. I was literally just a guy that just loved playing sport, playing football, and all my friends will probably tell you that kind of thing as well. Like we were always on, we used to always go on big bike rides in the summer, and go for miles and miles, and just used to call myself just a wee guy, just living life.
That's cool. And I've never actually been to that part of the world. Is it relatively rough around the edges, like the way I grew up, or is it nice and neat?
Grangemouth's quite rough around the edges, but I think everywhere's got its places as such. You just need to be a bit streetwise and know what streets to go down and what ones to be aware of. But I had a great group of friends, and we were all really close. And for me, it was good. Like I've not had any bad memories growing up. I'm quite fortunate.
That's brilliant. And so how was the sibling sort of situation? Your brothers or sisters? How was all that? How close were you guys?
Well, I've got a brother and a sister, and there's quite a big gap between us. My brother is, I'm 29, sorry. My sister is 41 and my brother's 40. My sister's 42 and my brother's 40, so there's a big gap between us. So I was, as my dad said, I was a mistake of the family.
Okay.
So, we obviously grew up on different different kind of generations a wee bit. You know, they're obviously there is a fair gap between us. So when I was out like kicking a ball about and just living life when I was younger, they were maybe out partying and going through their teenage years and whatever. So but yeah, I mean, like, we're still close and stuff, but it would have been good to have like a brother or sister that was like the same age as me. I've got a niece I kind of see her as my wee sister, so I look after her. So, but yeah, that's
brilliant.
Yeah,
that's really good. Yeah, no, that's interesting. With you being sort of the surprise, was there a little bit less pressure on you growing up to do what it was, or to live up to anything in your parents' eyes, and it just allowed you to be a bit more creative with what you followed in life?
Yeah, I think so. I think like our family is very much like football. Like my dad lives and breathes football, and my brother played at a good level. So I think I naturally fell into that, and I loved doing that anyway before I found HYROX. So that's exactly what I'd done before that. So. Yeah. I think I naturally just fell into that cycle of just wanting to be a footballer, and that's all I ever thought about. Going to school, and at high school, I just wanted to be a footballer. So part and parcel of that was wanting to make my dad proud. That's part of the reason why I liked it. But yes, I would certainly say that, like, being the youngest, I kind of got to do what I want. I got away with a lot.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then obviously that sort of took you into the youth system within Scottish football, and you started to play for a few teams. Do you feel like that things progressed at the speed you hoped they would within your football career? Did you get what you want from it? Are you content with your footballing career? Or what's your looking back on that now? Do you feel like there was any stones left unturned on that specific career? What's your thoughts looking back on that?
I mean, I think on reflection, I think my football career has kind of made me the person that I am today. I'm quite resilient. I've also had to be quite thick-skinned through football because the disappointment always outweighs like the goods, in my opinion. Certainly my career anyway. I felt that like I had all the ability, had all the dedication. I just didn't ever quite get the break, if I'm being honest. Never got the chance. Maybe so much the ability. I think there was players miles better than me, but I felt like I was dedicated. For a young age, like I never drank, I never smoked or anything like that. I was always just dedicated. I was always in bed at the right time. I'd done everything right. Yeah, so I don't really have any regrets in that sense. But I think on my early days, like when I was at Hearts as a young kid, I accelerated like quite quickly, and I think it gave me a false impression that I was going to make it as such, you know what I mean? But I think the realisation came quite quick when I was at Hearts, and then I was in the reserve team, and then the physicality and the standard hit me like a ton of bricks, and then before I know it, like I'm away to another club, and then I just never quite got the chance that I felt that I kind of had put the effort in for, but maybe it's just because I wasn't good enough at the end of the day. But no, I wouldn't say I've got any regrets in terms of football. Yeah.
Did you make your dad proud?
Yeah, I would like to think so.
That's a good feeling.
I mean, I've played at some good stadiums and played in some big games and scored some big goals. I would like to think so. He's actually more obsessed with HYROX now than he is with...
Really?
He thinks he's a HYROX... my dad's 72. Trying to explain to him that I was doing HYROX was a long-winded story.
That's brilliant. It's almost akin to the Sean Noble story. Do you speak to Sean? Are you close?
Yeah, I'm really close with Sean.
Yeah, his grandfather getting into HYROX.
Yeah, that's right. So it's literally like after every race, my dad's like analysing my time, and you need to get better at this, and I know, Dad. You need to get better at that skier, and I'm like, yeah, I know, Dad. I need to try and get it done a wee bit.
Does it feel like any ex-professional footballers that I've ever spoke to, they all say the same thing? They say football's two different things. Well, three things. They say it's like the innate ability, like the talent, and then obviously the work ethic. And then they say a lot of it, like your success, is relationship building. and like being connected with the right people to end up in the right spots. Within team sports, I find that's often the case. Does it feel nice now to be in a solo sport, and it's like literally there's no one that can impact the difference like in your time? It's you have 100% of control of your own success. Does that feel good?
Yeah, it is actually. It's quite refreshing. I think I've kind of embraced it as well. Like, with football, the thing that used to mentally get me down was if I let my teammates down. I was always scared, like, making a mistake, and literally being like the guy that makes a mistake that lets the team down, or they concede the losing goal or whatever. So I think, like, for me, being now like a solos athlete is, or obviously competing doubles as well, but predominantly solos, I would say that it is quite refreshing. Like, I just need to be mentally a lot tougher, but I think, like, if I don't do that one training session, then it's impacting me. It's not impacting 10 other guys in my team. So I like that. I like that pressure, to be honest. At first, when I first started HYROX, it crippled me a bit, like with nerves and whatever else, because it was just me. But I think now it's like, well, if I don't perform to the level that I personally want to perform at, then there's going to be another race around the corner. So I don't try and get myself too caught up in it. And I'll be honest, like, when I first started doing HYROX, I did struggle a wee bit with, like, particularly when I started getting like decent times and stuff. There comes a bit of pressure as well, because I struggled to break the sub 60 in my first 3 or 4 races, and then you question yourself, am I good enough and stuff like that. But that's just like, it's part of any sport. I think it's just that mental resilience you need to have to be able to kind of compete, particularly when the stakes get quite high.
Not even sport, anything that you do that's new, you're not 100% competent or confident in your ability as of yet. So that's just nerves and excitement to be learning it. You start a new job, you feel the same. You start anything, you feel the same. A new relationship, you feel exactly the same. You know each other. I think that's completely natural for most people. But you didn't start it like the average person starts it. You come in red hot. Like, I think your slowest ever time was like an hour, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you obviously carried amazing conditioning from your football career into HYROX. Were you always big on your strength training as well, or you just found the weights pretty light for your size of frame?
I've always been in the gym. When I was at like Hearts as a footballer, like, it was mandatory that we were in the gym 3 times a week, doing strength conditioning. I think, like, when I turned about 18 or 17, 18, that's when I really realised that I actually enjoyed that side of things more, as opposed to like the actual technical side of football.
Yeah.
So I think, like, basically, like, I would probably say that, like, the physicality side of things was something I probably struggled a wee bit at the start with HYROX. I think the strength side of things was definitely a bit of a what's the right word? Like, a bit of a shock to the system, I would say. Just by how heavy the sleds were and that kind of thing. But I would say that, like, the strength side of my strength conditioning has always, like, pulled me through a wee bit. And I've never, like, been into bodybuilding or anything like that. It's just more like just try to be an athlete, literally try to get faster, stronger, more powerful and stuff. And I think that even that, like, I still train that way to this day. With just some different tweaks here and there.
Yeah, brilliant. And you were a right back in your football career, weren't you? So I'd imagine you're a bigger fella. What are you, like 6'1", 6'2"?
6 foot, yeah.
6 foot,
Well, just shy, maybe 6 foot. So when I first started doing HYROX, I was about 75 kilo.
Right.
So I've had to put on a fair bit of weight, or about 5 kilo. So I try and sit about 80 kilo when I'm racing. I feel like I can run that. I've still got the strength. I'm playing my wee bit with maybe trying to put on a wee bit more weight, maybe 1 or 2 extra kilo. But for me, like, I suffer with IBS as well, so I've got a very much a whole foods diet. Like, so it's trying to get a lot of calories in for my expenditure. But it's quite hard. So I think 80 kilo is probably my best weight.
I think whatever's just within 5% of your natural weight is everyone's best weight. Like, when people start trying to go too far up or too far down, they eventually blow up because their body hasn't had 15 years of efficiency through that, like it does at its natural weight.
Yeah.
So I seen Sean had some challenges with weight as well recently. He was fluctuating up and fluctuating down.
Yeah.
think he's landed back in the middle where he started, or almost.
Yeah, I was listening to one of his podcasts. He was eating 6 bowls of cereal and stuff. So, he's some boy.
It is. It's fascinating. And then tell me, so in this year, 2025 was kind of your breakout. Well, coming into 2026, 25, end of 2025 into 26 was really your breakout, and you started racing in the elites and things like that. How's that all that been for you? How are you dealing with, well, I suppose the attention you're used to from being a professional footballer, but how have you found the more eyes on yourself and a little bit of extra pressure now, people expecting you to perform?
Yeah, like I'm genuinely loving it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am. Yeah, like I'm just taking it all in. Like at the end of the day, like I love HYROX. Like I love the sport. I love the workout. Like I genuinely do, and I love competing. I think once I like accepted that, and everything else that's coming with it, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just really embracing it. Honestly, when I was at the Elite 15, like the whole media thing and all that kind of stuff, I was just trying to enjoy it as much as I could.
Cool.
The media stuff was a bit nerve wracking, but everything else was, yeah, I was just literally just buzzing to be there and buzzing to be a part of it. So I don't think like yeah, you get nervous, I think, but I think if you don't get nervous, then there's something wrong with you, because at the end of the day, like you wouldn't care if you weren't nervous.
Yeah. 100%.
So I certainly, yeah, like I've loved it. Like I said at the start, I'm literally just a normal guy that's got a passion for sport, and if I can try and just show off my character that's who I am, then I think I've just embraced every moment. Yeah.
How do you feel about being around all the other sort of elite athletes, the ones that would be sort of more famed within the HYROX space? Did you get any sort of stage fright, or you've had any nerves around any specific athletes, or was any trying to play psychological or bully boy tactics on you? Any sort of gossip from the changing rooms on how things went in your first Elite 15 race?
Like everybody that I've spoke to within like the Elite 15 have been superb. Like a lot of the guys particularly in Melbourne anyway, like I've raced against them a good few times, like Alan Plodge, Josh Van Zeeland, a lot of guys that are making their debut, like Charlie Botterill. I'm really close with Graham Halliday as well, so I knew quite a few of those guys. The more experienced guys like your Hunters and James Kellys and stuff, to be honest, like I didn't really get a chance to even really speak to much of them. The only guy that had like an aura and a presence when he walked in was Hunter. I don't know why, just the way he carries himself, like I couldn't just look at him. So me and Graham were in the warm up zone, and Hunter came into the warm up zone just like right before the solos, maybe like 20 minutes beforehand. Obviously I was watching what he was doing, seeing what he was up to, and he sat on the bike for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, and he was like laughing at Tim. Like I don't know what he was laughing at him. I think he was slagging him a bit. And so anyway, he went on the bike, and then he went onto the sled, and honestly, he must have put about 500 kilo on the sled, and just started pushing the sled up and down, and then he must have took that off and then done the exact same with the pull. But I didn't know he had the weight on the pull. Me and Graham were like talking to each other, and I picked up the rope to pull the sled pull just to warm up, and it wasn't moving. I was like, what weight's on this? So I says to Graham Halliday, I was like, Graham, I'll have a shot of this weight here. He's trying to pull it as well. And then I think Sean came up and says, Hunter's been on the sled pull. So I think we worked out, he had like 250 kilo or something on the sled pull. So I don't know if that was like his psychological, because he did say a lot about like these new skinny guys coming into the sport and whatever. So I don't know if that's.
He's a bloody gig, that man, isn't he? He's awesome.
He's brilliant. Like, so my mum's maiden name's McIntyre.
Was it?
Yeah. So like in Chicago, I was trying to say to Hunter, well, I mean, we could be family, so you could race for Scotland in the next relay if you wanted. He's got Scottish ancestors, so I did say that to him.
That's awesome, mate. That's a great little tale, that one. Let me. So we have some questions as a part of this quiz, and some of them are coming from different angles. So we're going to jump into a bit of a question round, if you're all right.
Aye, go for it.
Let's try and figure out who Liam McCroary is, really. Let's see how Scottish you are to begin with. So I've got some famous Scottish movie quotes, I'm going to give you a point per question that you get right, and then if you name the movie, I'll give you an extra point. All right.
Okay.
So that sound fair? How up to speed are you on your Scottish movies? You reckon you're pretty good?
0 to 10.
0 out of 10. All right, cool. Okay, now I'm not going to do the accent because I'll kill myself. Now tell me, what does it mean to be noble? Your title gives you claim to the throne of our country, but men don't follow titles; they follow blank.
Leaders.
Incorrect. Okay, so something is for the weak. No. Okay, cool. So we're wrong from 2. So that was the Braveheart round. The first one was courage. So they follow courage, and mercy is for the weak. All right, I'm gonna give you a clue on the movie. Next movie, Trainspotting. You know the classic one. So we've got choose life, choose a job, choose a career, choose a family, choose a fucking big television, choose a...
Oh, I just went to see Trainspotting as well at the Edinburgh Festival. I don't know.
Washing machine.
Right.
Mate. All right, cool. This is an easy one, mate. You're I'm going to take away your passport. Okay, cool. The reasons, there are no reasons. Who needs reasons when you've got... Come on, Trainspotting.
Reasons when you've got... I've never seen the film. I've just seen the...
Heroin. Who needs
Heroin, there we go.
All right, that's it. I'm not even going to ask you the questions on Gregory's Girl.
Movies, I've not got enough time for movies these days.
Okay, so you're 0% Scottish. There we go. Save yourself some money on Ancestry.com. Okay, this is not actually your question. That was from Josh Van Zeeland. Let me just find the right one, actually. Here we go. Okay, cool. So this is a bit more of a serious one. What's harder to deal with daily, the inmates at your main job, or keeping up with the athletes in the Elite 15? That's the first part of the question.
That's a good question. Certainly keeping up with athletes in the Elite 15.
Right.
I would say so. I think the thing that I've realised just now that's probably holding me back is my full-time job. I think like training volume, recovery. I think, the realisation that I need to be in a certain place 8 till 4 every day. Like, I don't get me wrong, like I love my job, it's a great job, it's rewarding and stuff, but I think like even just now I've no annual leave left because I went to Melbourne, so I would...
Hang on, it's January 12th, right? Like, why have you got no annual leave left?
It was renewed on the 1st of February.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I had to take all my annual leave left to basically compete in Melbourne. Yeah, I've no annual leave left. So just be things like that, a bit of flexibility, I think. Yeah, I'm addressing it. I'm trying to reduce some hours at work and stuff, just for the next kind of 6 months to a year, hopefully.
Yeah.
Just to let me train a bit more, compete a bit more. I think that's what held me back last year as well, was I never raced enough. And that was just for a number of reasons, basically. I was with work and all that kind of things. I would say so, yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about the other side, like your main job. Like, what is that day to day? Like, what sort of prison is it? What sort of prisoners are there? What are the complications of that job? Is it mentally very taxing? Is it difficult? Tell us a little bit about your daily experience. You're a prison officer, aren't you?
Yeah. So I work in the activities buildings in the prison.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a job in the gym, which would be absolutely amazing.
Wow.
So yeah, basically, I work in a young offenders institute in Pullman. And we've actually got young offenders, adults and women, so we've got about 400, 500 prisoners. And yeah, like, don't get me wrong, it's not like my job isn't what people think it probably is, like fighting and all that kind of thing. It's no so much like that at all, to be honest. It's really rewarding. Like, you meet some absolute nutters, but you speak to a lot of good guys, and guys that are just made stupid mistakes and are genuinely wanting to kind of change their lives. So, but yeah, like day-to-day routine is, I deal with maybe 20, 30 prisoners on a daily routine. yeah, sometimes I can speak to a guy for about an hour just about his life, and I like to find, like, I don't know, it's just the way I am, but I like to find out a bit about their background and what their life was like outside and how they ended up in here. And I think that, and certainly like my involvement in sport and like HYROX, it's a good avenue to have a good conversation with them, because like when I competed in Melbourne, the kind of work parties, they all gathered and watched the computer and things like that. Brilliant. So they were all, yeah. And the amount of guys that I've had in the jail that are saying, you know, when they get out, they're wanting to not so much get involved in HYROX, but they want to take their fitness a bit more serious. You know, I'd like to think that I'm kind of inspiring them into, you know, better themselves and channel their kind of whatever it is they have got going on. Hopefully they can get involved in boxing or, you know, running or the gym or whatever else, and you know, get them involved in something a bit better as opposed to what they're doing out in the streets and stuff sometimes.
Yeah, mate, that's awesome. Imagine you set up like a coaching, HYROX coaching in the sort of Young Offenders Institute, and you started producing world-class athletes that you 24/7 to train. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, there is talk of the guys in the gym hopefully running like a HYROX. It's like a bit of I think like if the guys done a full HYROX in the jail, they would pass it. But I mean, like, they are taking their fitness a bit more serious. Like, functional fitness is a thing that is kind of the trend as such just now, and I think that they're getting involved in that as well. Like, they're doing skier challenges, rower challenges, 1K run challenges.
Nice.
I sometimes get my splits up on the screen to show them. See if you can pull the skier 140 for 500 meters. You know, I'll give you a shower gel.
That's brilliant, man. That's brilliant. Thanks for sharing that. It's good to understand that. But yeah, I think we've covered that a little bit. I know that you're doing the prison officer stuff, and then obviously you're competing, but you do seem to do an element of coaching as well. Like, where do you even fit the coaching element into your day?
So,
it sounds
to be
like
honest,
time.
The coaching is, I do it online. So I did used to do a lot of like classes and stuff with one of my best mates. But in the summer, I had a bit of a wall, if I'm being honest. I had a bit of burnout.
Yeah.
So I used to work full time, train full time, and then at my spare time on a Friday night, Saturday, and a Sunday, I would go down and coach the HYROX classes.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like in the summer, it was too much. You know, I was literally never got an hour spare.
Yeah.
So I'd cut down the classes a wee bit, and I do online coaching, which is a lot more, you know, flexible, and I do it on my lunchtime at work, and I do it at the weekends as well. And like my phone on WhatsApp and whatever, I'll check in my clients and stuff. It first started as like a bit of a hobby, just trying to like, because I was getting a lot of requests, and I started maybe with 5 or 6 clients, and it has grown, to be honest, and it's literally was like a bit of a side hobby, if I'm being honest. But now, like, I've always done coaching. Like, I'm a qualified coach, and you know, I've always loved that side of things. I've been a PT I've always been involved in that kind of thing. So I think taking it online, I've got clients now for like Australia, Poland. So it's grown massively.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So, but like, I don't give people what I wouldn't do myself. Like, a lot of what I give my clients and stuff is sessions and workouts and my training philosophy. So that's how I train. I'll give it to them. You know what I mean? I'm not going to bring out a general plan to suit people. I want to, you know, work with them one-to-one and find out what their routine's like and how I can help them. So I don't take on much, but yeah, it's something I'm really enjoying, actually.
That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. Okay, rock and roll. Let's try something different. What do we got? What was the greatest moment in your football career, and how did it come to an end?
So I think my football career came to an end through the fact that I accepted I was just going down and down the levels. So, and then I found HYROX, simple as that, and that's how it ended. But I would say probably the best moment in my career is making my debut for Stenhousemuir at Hampden. Stenhousemuir was one of the clubs in, like, one of the lower league clubs in Scotland. I think they're League 1, League 2. And my first appearance for them was at the National Stadium in Hampden, because we played Queen's Park, who play at Hampden. and yeah, like to say I played at Hampden was probably one of the coolest experiences I've had.
Cool.
And I didn't score on that debut, but the next again game I scored on my debut, on my full debut. Sorry. So that was another really good experience as well. I've had loads of good experiences in football. I think getting on the bench when I was at Wraith Rovers, I didn't even get on the park. I was just on the bench at HYROX, and there was, I think it was Armed Forces Day, so there was about 60 odd or 50 odd thousand people there.
Wow.
I was on the bench. I was only like 18, 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great experience as well.
That's awesome, mate.
But yeah, we've had loads of good like cup wins and league wins, and being part of a team is good in that sense that you can enjoy your teammates and stuff. So I've had loads of good experiences thinking back.
That's awesome. And how well are you living when you're playing that standard of football? Are you living good, or you're just sort of not making ends meet, but you're just covering costs?
So yeah, I'll be totally honest. Like when I was at Hearts, I was just a youth player, so I wasn't even getting paid. And when I went to Wraith Rovers, I was on a 2-year contract, but I was like an apprentice, so like I was doing like qualifications and stuff. I was on £100 a week, so I wasn't on much at all for the 2 years. And then when I went to Stenhousemuir, I was part time. So yeah, it was decent money for part time, but it was never like Premier League money or anything like that in Scotland. You know, it's. I had to get another job, and that's how I ended up in the prison service. So it was good having a full-time job on top of it, like, but it wasn't like their kind of rock and roll lifestyle. It was still very much going out daily to work, and then so I'm used to it.
So you came to HYROX for the rock and roll lifestyle?
Aye. Whatever. I think it's good for the sport to have characters.
It's good for everything. As a businessman, I understand really clearly that being the middle of the road is the worst place you can be. You need to be a divisive character. You need people to love you and people to hate you, because either way they start talking about you, and that feeds everything. So it does. It feeds as many people follow you, more people watch your videos, people that come and support you, buy your merchandise. You don't want to sit in the middle of the road and just be that guy,
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough. I'm signing my protein as an athlete. So
cool.
That helps a wee bit as well. So it's certainly like I've got another sponsor as well, Performer. So they help me with my travel and stuff, and I'm really grateful for that as well, because how much you travel over this in HYROX and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy to think that these brands are all now part of such a big sport or whatever. So it's it's cool.
It's awesome. What have we got next? Let's see. Question 4. You had an amazing run in HYROX so far. Why do you think your name goes under the radar coming into races? Maybe this is just a me perspective. I don't hear as much of you as I hear other athletes, and you're a UK-based athlete, so I should be seeing your name all over the place. Why do you think that you kind of slip under the radar a little bit?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Me and Graham said this to each other, but I don't know if it's because we're Scottish. I'm not sure.
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's because whoever runs the HYROX account is English and they like all the English athletes. I'm not sure. But certainly for me, like, I think it just goes back to who I am. Like, I'm genuinely just like a kind of quiet, modest, quite reserved guy. But I quite like that underdog feeling, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So like now I've got a bit of a thing going with my friends on Instagram that like I put a wee ninja sign anytime like I'm racing in that now. So like there's been a lot of things that in the past like I've never been mentioned in any like Instagram post or anything like that about like ones to watch or anything like that. And then like I think 3 or 4 races like I won Maastricht, came third in Stuttgart, and then like obviously won in Melbourne as well. So I think like I'm to be honest, like if I'm doing my talking through results, then I'm happy with that. But it's hard to pinpoint. Maybe because I'm not like at Instagram. I'm not massive on it. Like I try and put out content, and I try and promote like what I'm doing and stuff, like workout sessions and things that are going to help people. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm flashy or anything like that at all. So maybe that's how I slip under the radar.
I think so. Yeah, I think I think there's probably elements of all of it that's true. It's hard to say, really, isn't it? But people follow people like sheep. You know, like if a big publication puts out this is the one to watch, everyone goes there and gives that person lots of attention. Like so,
Yeah.
while it's great to be an underdog, like it's also good to be recognised too. And both those things can be true.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Sure. What do we got now? Question 5. Oh yeah, this is a good one. One hobby, song choice, movie choice, and drink choice that the audience would never guess about you.
So a song choice. Let me think. Little by Oasis. It's one of my favourite songs. Love Oasis.
Right.
A drink choice as in alcoholic drink or just anything?
Boozy one.
A boozy one.
Yeah.
I don't actually drink much, so I would probably say I like a pint of Tennent's. Or I like an Iron Brew. I've got an Iron Brew.
There you go. The two most Scottish drinks in history. I love it. I think most people would have guessed that about you.
Yeah. What was the other one, sorry?
Movie.
I like American Sniper. It's one of my favourite movies. And also the one that slipped off about the jail. The old-fashioned film about the jail.
The Green Mile.
No, the other one.
Schindler's List.
No, Schindler's List. No.
Oh, I'm just naming all the movies now.
It's one of the most famous ones that has slipped my head. The guy escapes from the prison.
Is it? Fucking famous prison movies. I have to Google this now. Famous prison movies. What have we got? Best prison movies. Oh, Shawshank.
Shawshank, that's the one. Yeah, that's probably one of my favourite ones. I can't believe I've forgot that.
We're going to edit it. We're going to edit it in post, and we're going to look like we're real clued in at this time.
Oh, brilliant!
We're missing on a hobby. One hobby. I want a surprising hobby. So we know that you do sport. We know that you're Scottish. Like, what would people not know about you? What are you up to? You knitting? What are you up to?
I love coffee. That's my.
Tell me about it. Like, you went to Melbourne. Down there, they're the biggest coffee wankers in the world. They think they got the best coffee in the world.
I'm
into that? Oh, you're like them.
I'm a snob. I'm a bit of a coffee snob.
Tell me about how often you go to Starbucks in a year.
I've not been to Starbucks in about a year. No chance. So
that's fishing.
So our hobby at the weekend is to drive to like Glasgow, Edinburgh, all the cities, and look for an authentic coffee shop.
Right.
That's my fiance's hobby at the weekend. That's what we do. So
do you scale them like Dave Portnoy from Barstool? Do you do like as an 8.1 Ethiopian ground, or like
a wee bit? I've developed a bit of taste for it now, so I can tell the difference between different roasts and stuff like that. So I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm that. I mean, I've got a good setup in the house and stuff, so I've got a good. But I can't drink cheap coffee anymore.
Right, there we go.
But Melbourne was an experience. That was amazing. Some of the best coffee I've ever had in my life out there. So
you reckon that Melbourne coffee is really good coffee?
Oh, it's no a myth. Yeah, that's definitely true. Right. So I don't know why, but they've got it to a T, definitely.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I feel like we're getting to know you pretty good. Okay, you played professional sport before. How important is it for you to be a professional athlete again? Like, how much does this HYROX journey mean to you? Is it something that you like to do, or something that you need for your future?
No, certainly. I'm really content with I'm content with the way my football career went. But just now, I'm genuinely feel like I'm reliving everything that I maybe missed out on in football. I.e., getting to travel, getting to compete at majors, and that media exposure, and even like podcasts and things like that. I think that was the only thing that I didn't really get the chance to experience in football, and I think it's genuinely been like a second chance as such of being like an athlete. Like I've always treated myself as a full-time athlete, even when I was I think that's probably why I'm always late for work every day, is because I'm trying to get in extra reps, extra sets, try to make sure my recovery's spot on. So I think that, like I've always treated myself like that. I've always been disciplined in that way. So I think that just now, like I feel like I'm really getting the benefit of, being able to go and travel and, compete at a lot of kind of pressured races and stuff like that. I think that side of football I maybe missed out. So I'm actually really enjoying that side of things.
That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. You did mention a little bit. You got everything sort of dialed in. Are you a very data-driven athlete? Like you like to track how well you're sleeping, how like your splits, all those types of things. Or are you more a feel-based person?
Yeah, I work more off feel, I would say, or RPE. I don't try and I don't wear my watch when I'm racing. I don't track my splits or anything like that. I just try and go off how I feel. I don't track sleep either. Like, I think I would probably end up stressing out too much about lack of sleep, if I'm being honest. So, nah, I'm not very data driven. I'm very much in my strength sessions and my running sessions. Like training, I'm quite data driven. But in terms of like my races, and I'll have a look at my splits and see where I can tweak things here and there. But after a race, you always look, I could get 30 seconds off my wall balls, and I could get 20 seconds off my burpees, and that's me, I'm sorted, kind of thing. But and then the next weekend race, everything else is up and down. I try not to get too caught up on data. It's good to look at. It's handy to have, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. So, question 7. Braveheart was filmed in Falkirk. I imagine a proud place to grow up. What do you think the bravest decision you ever made in your life was?
I think like recently, when I went to London for HYROX, obviously I ran 102, 103, came third overall on the podium. And the day after, I phoned my football manager and says that I wouldn't be back. To this, like 2 years down the line, I've not touched a football since.
What? And you were full time playing football prior to that phone call?
I was part time, like I was junior, so
Gotcha.
I was kind of looking for a bit of an excuse to try something new, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But for like anybody that knew me, they always just knew me as somebody that played football, that lived and breathed it, and it would take a lot for me to quit. And literally, we were in London the day after, and I says to my fiancée, I was like, I'm just going to phone my manager and say I'm not coming back. And
amazing.
Yeah, and it was quite a big decision, obviously. And I've not even thought or looked or touched a football since. I still watch it, and like I still like going to watch my mates, and I follow a team and all that kind of thing. But I've never had the urge to go back. But
right,
I think it was a big decision, if I'm being honest.
It
was a brave one.
Those ones feel good, though, don't they? Those phone calls feel good when you know you just made the right call for yourself.
Yeah, I've never been so nervous before though, because my manager at the time, so he sponsored me to go to Chicago just recently. So I think at the time he was a bit, couldn't believe what I was doing, but as my career's progressed in HYROX and he's seen that I'm being able to go and travel and do quite well, he's supporting me massively. So
fantastic.
So it's paid off, I think, for that decision. But Danny Smith.
Good on you, Danny.
He's a great guy. He is a great guy.
No, most people hold a grudge on those type of things. I like to see someone that can be frustrated, get over it themselves, and then go on to supporting someone. And I'm happy for them. It's a good evolution.
So he sponsored me and my fiancée to go to Chicago in the summer.
He paid for your fiancée too?
Yeah, he gave me a budget. We sponsored, so got the flights all paid for, and the hotel and stuff. So it was nice. Credit to him, it was brilliant.
You'll be the first guy getting private jets into these HYROX events and just dropping it like alongside the arena.
I wish.
Some mystery sponsor, man. Some mystery donator. What do we got? Okay, Phoenix Major. We're shaping up for Phoenix. Are you going to race? You're going to Phoenix to race. I seen you're in the 15.
Well, I'm actually 17th. Gutted.
17th? Oh, yes. Right, okay.
I'm absolutely
gutted.
And
what's going on with roll downs at the moment? What's the story?
Second roll down.
Your second.
So if I get a roll down, I'll go.
Right.
So as it stood in Melbourne, I was in, and then Stockholm, I think Plodge and somebody else knocked me out. Which I was going to race Stockholm, but the time that I went to compete in Melbourne, and then I ended up getting knocked out. So it's just the way that the rankings are just now. You know, it's so tight. Hopefully, when the point system comes in, it'll be a bit better. But I think I'm 17th or maybe 18th.
I must be looking at the wrong rankings section on High Result. I go to rankings and then I go to Pro Men, and you're sitting at 15 on Pro Men.
I wish. On the HYROX website, I think I'm like 18th or something, 17th, 18th.
Right. So who's not going to race? That's a really good question. So who's got their qualifying spots automatically? So we've got, I think it's Hunter and Tim. There's two athletes. They're definitely going to race, Tim and Hunter.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that Hunter's doing doubles with Jake, so I'm not sure if they're doing solos, but I don't know who is racing, who's not racing. I know Alan Podge. It's rolled down to Alan Podge, and then after him it's Bo Wills, and then after Bo it's me. So yeah, it just shows you like how tight it is. But yeah, hopefully I get a spot.
In Melbourne? So you raced in the Elite 15 and you raced Pro in Melbourne, right? Did you do the Pro before or after the Elite 15?
The day after.
The day after, and you raced a quicker time, didn't you?
Yeah. So I bought a ticket for the men's pro like the week I was flying out, because it's just the way my head works. Like so all the guys that I was racing against in the Elite 50 on the Friday, they were all doing the doubles on the Saturday. So the way that I was like, well, if they're all racing, I'm wanting to try and get a bit of kind of race exposure again as such. And we were actually, my uncle my cousin flew in from Perth to come watch me. So we were going out on the Saturday night for dinner and whatever. So instead of like doing like a training session, I just wanted to race again, just to get a good feeling of being able to enjoy my dinner and going out for a couple of drinks after it.
Yeah.
So there was no pressure. I didn't even get in the first wave because I bought my ticket so late. I've got a pro card, so apparently you're meant to get in the first wave. So I went to the help desk to try and get in, and they says that I wasn't eligible to be in the first wave. It was full apparently, so I was in like the third wave, and yeah, I literally just went out, just enjoyed it. Like there was no pressure at all. I was just doing it for a training stimulus, and then ended up running a sub 55.
You were loose. You felt loose. You felt no pressure, nothing to lose. You got to take that into the next race. That means something.
Yeah.
So you do. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, well, fingers. Obviously, like a couple of roll downs is a big ask for you, and hopefully everyone stays fit and healthy along the way. But with a little bit of luck, or someone makes a decision not to race, how are you? You've got no leave left until mid-February. What are you going to do?
So I've got a date. So basically, my next race, if I don't get into Phoenix, is Manchester. I'm doing a doubles with Graham Halliday in Manchester.
Gotcha.
So that'll be end of January, and then I'm doing Vienna, hopefully, which is in February, and then I'm doing Poland, and then I'm trying to peak for London, the regionals, and then I'll peak for Warsaw as well. So my aim's to be in the aim for my best shape. So if I'm looking at it, having like travelled to Melbourne, being ill, I think like maybe missing out in Phoenix just now is a wee bit of a blessing, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, if I get offered to go, I'll go and just give it my all.
Yeah.
But I think like looking at the way I like to structure, I like to race like maybe once a month, once every 6 weeks. So I've had a good block of training in, and then I'll race kind of thing. So hopefully I can, hopefully I can peak for that.
Yeah, definitely. You got to be careful in London. I'm coming in for my first ever HYROX race. You got to be ready, baby. You got some big, you got some big comp coming in.
Yeah.
As this is the last show of the season prior to Phoenix, let's pick a top 1, 2, 3 males, 1, 2, 3 females for Phoenix. What are you thinking?
So I would probably say, well, it depends, because like there's a lot of guys that have qualified and guys that haven't qualified. So. Yeah. In terms of the actual race, I'll say, I don't know if Ronkovic is racing, but he's my favourite, so I would say Ronkovic, Tim, then Hunter.
Do you think Hunter can get back on top?
I think he can, yeah. I mean, like how close he was at the Worlds in Chicago. Chicago, he was close.
Was he?
I think he was.
And
Yeah, I was rooting for him.
I don't mean that in time domain. I mean, did Tim just have his number mentally? Tim
Yeah,
was whenever he seen that Hunter was tired, he pushed on and just edged in front of him and waited
yeah,
for him to drop off. I felt that wasn't, while it was only a marginal gain of like 10 to 15 seconds, I thought that was a mental win. And if
yeah,
Hunter wanted to run 53:30, Tim would have run 53:30 or 29.
yeah,
I personally felt like Tim just had his number psychologically on the day. That's
yeah,
my
yeah.
personal opinion.
Uh-huh.
Do you not feel like there was a lot of ego in that battle? There was like a lot of back and forth between them two.
Yeah, and it's you've seen it in Melbourne as well when at the wall balls. Obviously, Tim's dropping the wall balls and stuff. So it is
He's playing with them.
Maybe a wee bit. Yeah, I think that they have a wee bit of back and forth on social media and stuff as well. So, it's good for the sport. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like enjoying it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
But I mean, like Ronkovic, I think he's the GOAT in my opinion. I think he's the man. So I think.
Yeah, me too. He's a really cool guy too.
Yeah, it's
really
cool. Like he's got that aura about him as well in the changing room and stuff. And Hamburg, he came in and he's so relaxed. He knows he's good.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. And what about the girls? Do you think that Joanna now is just going to take on and start winning a lot of these majors?
Yeah.
Do you think that Lauren is going to struggle to keep up now?
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to see Meg Jacobi come back as well and put a statement out, but
she's not racing.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her as well. She's really good. I listen to her quite a lot. So, I think the women, like in Melbourne, there was a lot of guys like myself that were making a lot of debuts, and I think there's a lot of like women out there that are going to make a big impact that we'll probably not heard in the next, in my opinion, in the next 6 months to a year. I think there'll be a couple of women out there that come in and rock the sport.
I agree.
Whether that's like British or Australian or American, whatever it is, I think there's a couple of like just now the women are kind of establishing themselves at the top 3 or 4, but I think below that it's anybody's game in my opinion. So I think there's a good cut of Scottish female athletes coming through as well, so hopefully they do well.
Give them a shout out. Who's the female ladies, the Scottish ones coming through?
Ailey Boyd from Elation. Graham's gym. And Nick, Nick's in the Scotland. She was in the Scotland relay team with me as well in Chicago. She's based in Australia, so shout out to her as well.
Awesome.
So there is a couple coming through.
That's awesome. My favourite female is Sinead Bent. I reckon she's got the whole package. I reckon she is the best athlete in the female Elite 15. I do. And she's got that dog about her. Even on her bad day, she can turn in a great performance and she doesn't break. I think she's it. And I also think Sean is the male version of Sinead Bent.
So me and Sean are like, we've kind of came on our journey out together. Obviously, like Sean's I would say ahead of me just now, but like we've raced a good few times against each other. In Amsterdam it started, and then in Maastricht, and all over the place. So I've always like not a rivalry with Sean or whatever. Like, I'm really good friends with him. It's like every time I see him, like we're really good mates. But in a race, I like racing against him because if I know that I'm up beside him, then I am either first place or I'm going to be second place because he's always in for the front.
100%. He's an animal.
What an athlete! He is an absolute animal. Like I've got a lot of respect for Sean. Like I really like. Anytime I see him, I'll talk to him for a good hour or two, and I would like to find out a bit more about his training, to be honest, because he's a nutter.
No, Sean. Like you know Sean way better than I should know Sean. But as a spectator, which I am, and I comment as a spectator of the sport always, not someone that has all knowing knowledge. I think Sean, with the right coach, is the full package. Like, and could be world champion like within a year.
I'm fortunate that I've got a coach that reins me in a lot and tells me like you're doing too much, or we need to push this intensity this day, and But if I never had him, I would honestly be training like an animal, like every single day. And I think that like Sean said that as well when he had a full-time job, like he had to like skip out on all like zone 2 easy work So he was doing a lot of intensity, and like that's like me. Like I would rather do a hard HYROX session as opposed to like sitting on the bike or the stairmaster for 3 hours in zone one, because I physically don't have the time for that. So like I'm used to intensity because it fits my lifestyle, and you know I would rather go in the gym for 90 minutes and work hard as opposed to 3 hours easy. So, but that, again, it's just having the luxury of being able to do that, being able to train a lot easier. So maybe that's just the mindset that he's maybe been in for a long time, you know, having to train.
I think he's a rock star, and I think you're going to be a rock star too, for sure, within the sport. We need more Celtics in the sport. We need some spice. And Jeremy O'Connell, you got to I don't know what happened to you, getting barged off your line and then apologising.
He's a great guy. I like Jeremy. He's a good guy.
Come on, fella. I love it. I love the banter. Okay, cool. So we're just going to finish things up. To be honest, this question was from Josh. I don't think it's overly applicable for you. It was for the next athlete, but and who he thought was going to be Sinead Bent, but there was a change about a week ago. He asked, how did it feel missing out on your Elite 15 spot by one place, and what are you going to do differently to the World Championship qualifying spot by one place, and what are you going to do differently at the next race to make sure that doesn't happen? Maybe for you, let's talk about how do you feel about not necessarily making it into that 15 for Phoenix, and what are you going to do differently for the next race in Warsaw?
Oh, I just need to race more. I just need to get another faster time. Like I only need a low 55 to get myself back in there. So I've got a 54, 58, whatever it is, in the bag. So if I can get another 55, 30 or 55, whatever it is, then I'll be back in. I'm confident in my own ability that I'll get that. Looking at it from Melbourne, I was only 17 seconds off qualifying myself. I think like the next major I go into, I'll not be as conservative at the start of the race. I'll be a bit more aggressive. Try and have a bit more. Like I had a disaster on the sleds in Melbourne. I slid twice on the pool. I wore no shoes and I slid on the push. So I knocked me off a bit. But like I don't know if you know about my splits or whatever, but my burpees, like I won the burpees overall, and that's where I always see my race starting. I think the last 4 or 5 races I've won the burpees, or I've came top 3 in the burpees. I think that's a real strong point in my race. If I can get from the burpees onwards, I know that my game's my race is fine, it's good. But from the skier to the push, or to the pull, sorry, I just need to sharpen up a wee bit on that. 20-30 seconds either side of the sled pushes and pull, then I'll be in a good spot to hopefully to qualify. I certainly in London I'll be hoping to qualify, and if not London I'll be in Warsaw. I'll certainly give it my all anyway. But I felt in Melbourne I was a wee bit just enjoying the experience a bit too much, and my first major, and I felt like I was just happy to be there. I just didn't really want to I just wanted to make a good account of myself. I think coming joint 7th or 8th, whatever it was, it was a good debut. But looking at it, I think if I pushed a wee bit more in the first half of the race, I probably could have, qualified.
Yeah, gotcha, man. All right, one last question, and we'll wrap her up for the season and for the night. So this is for the. I always want to say the average HYROX performer, but there is no average people that do HYROX, so let's call them the median HYROX performer that does about 90 minutes, and they're like you, they are full-time nurses, teachers, prison officers, salespeople, milkman, fireman, woodcutters, and they work long hours. But they can change one thing in the next 3 months to save 10 minutes on their time. What do they change?
So I would say focus on one thing and don't try and do too much. So if you know that your running is the biggest weakness, then focus on that. Don't try and do millions of HYROX classes and millions of HYROX sessions and whatever. Have a good block of 6 to 8 weeks, a progressive running plan where you're going to get better at running, and that'll save you so much. Like, it'll save you time, energy, efficiency in the stations as well. And if it's your stations that are killing you or whatever, then follow like a good structured program that focuses on your weaknesses, like whether it's like your strength or if it's your wall balls or whatever it is. Like, try and identify that weakness first, see where you can potentially get better at it, and yeah, don't try and, like, because obviously HYROX, you can do so much stuff in HYROX. Like, you can go running and you can do cycling and you can do all that kind of thing. And I think a lot of people get drawn into that. Whereas if you just like pinpoint what your weakness is, train it for 6 to 8 weeks, assess it, test it every now and again, and if that's that'd be that's what I've done. You know what I mean? Like, when I first started, it was my stations that killed me. I was just a runner. So what did I do? I had to put on a bit of weight to try and combat the sleds. I worked. I'd done a lot of like station sessions and focused on my strength side of things. And then the combination of that just accelerated my performance. So
awesome, man.
Yeah, that would be my advice to anybody.
Yeah,
and if anybody's ever wanting any advice, like, I'm always happy to help, and even if anybody's got any questions or that, I'm always quite helpful to help
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely reach out to Liam if you need any support on that. But yeah, Liam, so that's a good way to finish things and segue in, is I've really loved this conversation, but where can people find you? So I think you've talked a little bit about where you're going to race next. Where can they find you on Instagram? How can they support you? How can they support your athlete journey? What would you like to hear from them about?
Yeah, just literally, Instagram is among the really social media account I've got. So just give us a follow on that. Like I said, if anyone's got any questions or that, always reach out and give me a shout. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. And like I said, I do a bit of coaching as well. So if that's something that people are interested in, then I'm more than happy. And obviously, I'll be in Manchester. I'll be in London. I'll be a bit more active this year. So it's great. Loving the journey. Loving the progress. It's good.
I love it. Well, there you are. That's the end of the episode 10 or episode 11, depending on how you view it, and the season. I'll see all you guys after Phoenix. Thanks very much, Liam.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Top man.
The 8x8 podcast.